I'm Shae Russell for mining.com.au, and joining me today is Luke Rebbechi, the Senior Exploration Geologist for Aureka. Luke, it's fabulous to have you on. How are you?
Amazing. I'm great, Shae. Thanks for having me.
Now, I'm not actually meant to say this, but I do love talking to geos. They are my favourite people to talk to. And you are out in one of my favourite regions, geologically speaking, and that is the Victorian Goldfields. But before we get to that, I sort of wouldn't mind a little bit of background about you and what attracted you to working for Aureka.
Yeah, so I'm a geologist, studied at Melbourne Uni, graduated with a master's degree in geology. I started my career at the Fosterville gold mine in Victoria. When I started there, a few months after, the team there discovered the Swan ore deposit, which is the famous ultra high grade discovery. So it was fascinating to work there and see it grow from a small miner to one of the biggest and the most profitable in the country. So I learned a lot from the amazing team there. Really developed my skills working underground, near mine exploration, regional exploration. When I left that job, I started working for a tenement administrator as a geologist. I work with clients all over the country, assisting with exploration approvals, technical reporting, and mapping, and any other tasks that they needed. And then, when James approached me not long ago to start working at Aureka, it was just an opportunity that was too good to pass up. A small Victorian explorer, fully cashed up now, and we have a whole host of amazing projects. We've got the 5 big projects, the Irvine Resolution and Adventure prospect there, 300,000 inferred resource. Tandara Gold Project operating in north of Bendigo, operated by a joint venture partner, Catalyst. St Arnaud and Jubilee Goldfields, where we hold the entirety of the goldfields there, and the Morning Bill Gold Copper Project, which is in the Staveley Arc. A lot of similarities to the Thursday Gossan project owned by Staveley Minerals. So there's a whole host of really great projects. The predecessor of Aureka, Navarre, the team there did an amazing job working these projects up. And now as a team at Aureka, we get to put our own spin on these.
We're going to touch on some of the exciting things that are ahead shortly, but what is it that you have been working on to date at Aureka?
Yeah, so at the start of the year, we started drilling at Irvine. So the diamond drill program there, we're drilling to the south of the inferred resource at Resolution. The aim there is to really see the southern extent and see if we can grow this inferred resource over time. The Resolution lode, it is a dipping shear zone on the eastern edge of the Irvine basalt. And what that drill hole is the first drill hole that's actually passed through the entirety of the basalt. So we released to the market a few weeks ago that early in the hole, we saw some sulfides in the western side of the basalt, which haven't been discovered yet. Now, we don't know if they host gold, but once we get the assays back and if it does host gold, that creates a whole new exciting exploration opportunity for us there. And as we know, our most close analogue is the Stawell Gold Mine, located about 15 kilometres to the north. The majority of the 5 million ounces mine there has actually come on the west side of the Magdala Basalt Dome. So if we can start finding something over there, that could be a really exciting opportunity for us.
Speaking of finding something, what are you going to do over there? What's the project exploration look like over the next few months? What are the key goals you're trying to hit?
Yeah, so what we'll be doing is we'll be finishing off that project at Irvine. So we'll be putting a few intersections there into the Resolution lode. And then once we do that, we'll be packing up and heading to the St Arnaud Goldfield. We have our exploration approvals in place there, where we'll drill a diamond drill program in around the Comstock pit. And then after that, we'll have a look. We're planning to drill for the rest of the year. We've got some really good targets. We're starting to look at possibility of heading back to Resolution and drilling some infill. We're also looking at the Jubilee Goldfield, which is what I'm really excited about. The Jubilee Goldfield, located about 20 kilometres southwest of Ballarat, 100,000 plus ounce goldfield, stopped mining in, I think it was around the Second World War. That was due to non-geological reasons. So there's a lot of potential there. And I think what we've seen in the last 10 years of exploration in Victoria with the success of Fosterville, Costerfield, and Southern Cross Gold at Sunday Creek, we're finding that it's actually some of these smaller gold fields at surface, not the behemoths or the Bendigos and the Ballarats, but the smaller gold fields that if you put some really dedicated diamond drilling into them, take the time to understand the system at depth and understand the structure, that's where you might find your high grade mineralization and some serious depth.
I'm so glad you mentioned the Swan Zone and also the very particular time period of 10 years ago, because it was about 10 years ago when the Swan Zone was discovered. And not long after it was discovered, I started calling for the Victorian Gold Rush Renaissance. 10 years on, things are looking pretty good. But I ask you, Luke, is the best yet to come for the Victorian Goldfields?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like since that success at Fosterville, we've seen a lot of other success across Victoria. So Costerfield really started to develop, find some really high grade gold in their system, and Sunday Creek. If anybody, well, I expect most people have been following that story there. That's just an amazing story, and the size and scale of that with the high grade gold is amazing. The team there is doing a great job. So Kenny Bush, the exploration manager at Southern Cross Gold, he's a technical advisor and helping us advise our exploration strategy. So with this really good program that we've got coming up in the next year, we're really going to try and target some really high grade gold, like Jubilee, St Arnaud, as I mentioned earlier, our joint venture partners at Catalyst are doing some really good drilling at Tandara. So I think, really exciting opportunity for us to really find some high grade gold.
I certainly agree, Luke. There are going to be some really big things coming out of both Aureka and the Victorian Goldfields over the years ahead. Listen, thank you so much for your time. I hope to speak with you again soon.
Thanks, Shae. All the best.